Earlier today, the Senate approving that spending bill short term that would avert a government shutdown tomorrow night. Now it's up to the House and the president, and things, frankly, are at the moment, they appear to be rather unclear. North Carolina Republican Mark Walker's with me now. Sir, good morning to you. Listen, you represent a Republican study committee that has 123 conservative members. Where are they on what the House could possibly vote on? Would it pass or not, sir?
Well, I will tell you this, Bill, my 4 years here, it was one of the more lively conferences. There was a strong rebuke of the Senate's voice vote on this CR leadership, and I'm going into that as vice chair. There was a strong rebuke to say we must fight, and the time to do so is now. We had one member that, in fact, he's one of the chairmen of our committees, had not spoken in conference in 8 years. He got up this morning, made the compelling argument that we have to draw the line now.
Okay, here is a statement from Sarah Sanders just a moment ago. Okay, I'm going to read it for you. We're seeing it for the first time. Quote, "The president is having a meeting with the Republican House members at noon today, so that's 34 minutes from now. At this moment, the president does not want to go further without border security, which includes steel slats or a wall. The president is continuing to weigh his options." Signed from Sarah Sanders. Sir, you're just hearing that for the first time. Your reaction?
It is. I'm familiar with the noon White House meeting. We will be working in on that. But yes, whether it's steel slats, whether it's concrete, we believe that it's time to make sure that we fulfill our promise to the American people. The amount of drugs coming in, this isn't just about illegal immigrants. This is about drugs. This is about human trafficking. And I feel like that our conference got to the place that we said enough is enough. And I think that we're seeing that play out today. We were waiting for the president to make sure that he was willing to go to the mat. It looks like that he is, and we will have his back 100%.
Are you willing to shut down the government, at least partially, over the holiday?
We're willing to do whatever it takes. Now, also, I'm not one to jump out there and advocate for shutting down the government, but when it comes to securing the border on behalf of protecting the American people, I believe what we have to do is make sure that we're willing to make a bold statement. Now, Republicans, we have to be smart. We also have to have an exit plan of what this looks like long term. We want to make sure government employees are taken care of, but this is a hill that we should be willing to die on.
Back on that exit plan in a moment here, but 2 weeks from today, Nancy Pelosi in all likelihood will take the gavel as Speaker of the House. 2 weeks from today, how are Republicans feeling about, if not now, then never?
Well, that's the whole point, Bill. If you think you're trying to sell this, that things will get better February the 8th, which was the proposed date for this continuing resolution, they won't. This has been something that's been discussed the entire year. This is something that President Trump made the foremost kingpin foundation of his entire campaign and running for president. I think the time to deliver is now.
Okay, a couple pointed questions. Of those 123 members I referred to, are they all in agreement with you, or is there a little squishy room for them too?
Well, we have 159 total members. I have 18 or 19 members of the Freedom Caucus. We have Tuesday groups. So we have a plethora of different factions within the Republican Study Committee.
So they're not all in lockstep then?
No, and here's the key point on this. There's two parts of this. Today, there are some members who are wanting disaster relief, some members from Florida, North Carolina, that are trying to come together. Is it possible to merge these two and have a vote today, the $5 billion for border security, specifically for the wall, as well as disaster relief? We have called an emergency conference. We haven't listed out which time that may happen today to get members back in the room. That's where we have our best work, is when everybody's in the room. We'll know a little bit later on what time that is. The president meeting comes first.
Last question here. You talked about an exit plan. You know, politically, the hammer could come down on you if the shutdown happens.
Sure.
What is the exit plan, sir?
The exit plan right now is the big TBD, to be determined. That's the reason that even some people in leadership haven't been willing to say this is an easy call, because it's always easier up front to say let's shut it down. The components of this are very complicated. We want to make sure that those people, even though it's a partial shutdown, still have an opportunity to be taken care of. That's first and foremost. There's other subcomponents as well, but we've got to make sure that both ends, both going in and out, is taken care of.
TBD doesn't sound like much of a plan, so come on back when we can get a bit more on that. I know you're meeting the president in about 30 minutes, and we'll see how that goes. But nothing quite focuses the mind like a deadline. Mark Walker.
We think so. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you for your time. The Republican from North Carolina. Julie.